Bonz is one of those unique duelists whose trump card isn't a monster but a spell, or trap if you're going off the real life card game, and that is Call of the Haunted. In the series, this card works a lot differently, reviving non-zombie monsters as zombies and reviving them over and over each time they're destroyed in battle. Given the time that this card was released in real life, it makes sense that the effect was simplified down to reviving a single monster. But now that we're 20 years later, we can give Bonz his long overdue Call of the Haunted retrain and updated zombie monsters to boot. As suggested in the intro, the premise of this haunted archetype is to revive zombies from the grave who get stronger via stat boosts and effects that activate when they come back from the grave. At the center is the retrain of Call of the Haunted, and surrounding it are retrains of Bonz' monsters. Up first is Undead Medusa. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets your Call of the Undead, you can send this card from your hand or face-up field to the grave to negate the activation. Its effect that activates when it's special summoned from the grave is that it negates the effects of face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of zombie monsters you control until the end of the turn. So much like Medusa, turning to stone and paralyzing your opponent's cards. Next is Undead Zonky. If Call of the Undead you control would be removed from the field, you can send this card from your hand or face-up field to the grave instead. And if this card is special summoned from the grave, all zombie monsters you control gain 500 attack. Next is Undead Dragon. If this card is special summoned from the grave while you control Call of the Undead, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Also, if Call of the Undead and or Call of the Haunted you control is sent to your grave, you can target one of those cards and set it back to your field. Next is Undead Clown. If it's special summoned from the grave, you can target one card on the field and set it, and if you do, it cannot be activated or summoned while this card remains face up. Also, you can target one continuous spell or trap you control and set it, so allowing you to reset your Call of the Haunted and your Call of the Undead that you'll see when we get to the spells. You can only activate each effect of Undead Clown once per turn. And rounding out the main deck lineup is Pumpkin the Undead King, who has 3 effects. Once per turn during the standby phase, all zombie monsters you control gain 200 attack. Second, you can discard this card to add one Call of the Undead from your deck to your hand. And third, if he's special summoned from the grave, you can take a zombie monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the grave. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. So these 3 effects allow you to strengthen your zombie army, assemble more of your zombie army, and load up your graveyard for future plays. The synchro of the deck is Undead Golden Elephant, which takes one zombie tuner and one or more non-tuner undead monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, it has a bit of a unique effect. You target one zombie monster in your grave and then do nothing. Instead, you wait for the next time your opponent summons a monster and then immediately after that, special summon that target. So this works well with cards like Medusa, Clown, and Dragon Zombie, allowing you to either pop, negate, or set back the monster that your opponent just put on the field. It has an additional effect where once per turn, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, this card cannot be targeted by card effects until the end of the next turn. And now we get to the inspiration of the archetype, Call of the Undead. You can only control one of these. Once per turn, you can target one undead monster in your grave and special summon that target in attack position. Also, if a zombie monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's attacking monster, you can special summon it in attack position, and if you do, it gains 500 attack. The other spell is Army of Darkness, the searcher for the deck that allows you to, by discarding a card, set one Call of the Undead or Call of the Haunted directly from your deck or grave, and it can be activated that turn. Also has a graveyard effect where when you special summon a zombie monster from your grave, you can banish this card from your grave to load up your graveyard with more zombies by sending one from your deck to the grave. The lone trap of the deck is a retrain of Skull Invitation, and that is Undead Invitation, a continuous trap that activates if you special summon one undead monster from your grave by making the turn player discard one card. So a lot of risk reward going on here because obviously zombies have a number of ways of reviving themselves from the grave on your turn, so you would have to pitch a card, though that may help you by loading up your grave with more zombie monsters. But the deck has ways of reviving monsters on your opponent's turn as well, such as through the Undead Golden Elephant, Call of the Haunted, and the second effect of Call of the Undead. So that does it for the Undead archetype and rounds out Spooky Week. And be sure to like and subscribe because if Bonz and Panic weren't able to scare you, maybe next week, 1,000 restricting eyes will.